Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Chromebook Classroom. Today, we're going to have a little bit of fun with my amazing friend Carmen, who's going to show us some things that we can do to enhance French language in the classroom. Good morning, Carmen. How are you?
Doing so good. Thanks for having me, Trish.
Oh,
I'm
you're
really
welcome.
excited to explore these tools.
Right. This is the thing. These are tools. What you're going to show today makes me want to be able to just go into the classroom and practice this. I had to do it the hard way when I was in the classroom. But just for our friends who are watching today who maybe haven't met you yet, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Carmen Vaugeois, and I'm the elementary French language arts consultant, and I'm brand new to this role this year, and I'm loving it so far. So I'm very excited to show off these tools.
This is so great. And so Carmen today, she is going to be sharing her amazing ideas in both French and English, a lot for the benefit of yours truly, who doesn't have the ability of that beautiful language. But we're going to talk about how this can actually support that oral language. And I think that's where I want to kick off, Carmen, because, we think about language acquisition. Let's say whatever language that is, why is it so critical? Why is it so important that students are able to both have that visualization of their language, but also that oral language development? What does that do?
Yeah, well, strong oral language skills form the foundation of literacy and academic success for our students. So a solid foundation of the oral language helps the children become successful readers and strong communicators. And these skills also foster a child's confidence and overall sense of well-being. Now, most second language learners lack exposure and have few opportunities to use the language authentically. So it's up to us as educators to create appropriate learning opportunities for them to use their academic language and their social language that they're learning. Listening and speaking are critical for learning new information, and these two elements just help students build and broaden that and strengthen those skills so they can become more confident in their language skills.
Well, and isn't that huge? Because I think about myself, I took French for years, all the way through high school level. I'm very proficient at reading it. I'm very proficient at writing it, but it would be like having a conversation with a toddler if you were to speak with me because I don't have that confidence and I never had that practice. It was very much that sort of more academic form of reading and writing. And so that's, I think, what got me so excited today, because you're going to help us be able to create those moments, but you're actually going to take us through some technology that is free, that is easy, that our students are already using every day.
Yeah, totally. So the tools we're going to use today are Google Slides, and we're going to create some templates on there. And we're also going to use a new extension, Chrome extension called Talk and Comment. So la première étape que vous allez faire, c'est que vous allez télécharger l'extension Talk and Comment. Alors, je vais juste vous montrer cette application-là. Alors, ce que tu fais, c'est que tu ouvres ton Chrome Web Store et là, tu ajoutes le nom Talk and Comment, l'application Talk and Comment, et tu ajoutes ceci à tes extensions. And Trish, I believe they show up in that little puzzle piece up there eventually.
They will. But you know what's so exciting about Talk and Comment? It's funny because it's one of those ones it's an extension, but it treats it like an add-on. Because if you go back to any one of your, I know you have an example slide set up for us today even, you're already going to see the floating toolbar. And it's just on the right-hand side. So any environment that Talk and Comment will work in, forms, slides, sheets, classroom, anywhere, that Talk and Comment is there to support our students. So if you're missing it, you're like, oh, where is it in that traditional extension view? Don't even worry about it. We don't even use it from there. We use it as the floating toolbar.
Perfect. So, après que vous avez téléchargé l'extension Talk and Comment, la prochaine étape, c'est que vous allez ouvrir un Google Slides. Et vous allez utiliser Google Slides parce que tu vas créer un modèle, un template. Après que tu as ouvert Google Slides, tu vas créer ton modèle actuel. Et ton modèle doit être utile pour ton résultat d'apprentissage. Alors, l'exemple que moi j'ai créé ici se rapporte à la compréhension écrite 2A en troisième année, où ce que l'élève veut identifier la situation initiale et l'élément déclencheur quand ils sont en train de lire une histoire de façon indépendante. Alors, le modèle que moi j'ai créé, c'est que j'ai juste pris un gabarit vierge et j'ai utilisé les boutons textbox pour créer différentes boîtes, sur le diapo où ce que j'ai de l'information telle que le titre. Ça sera important que ton élève soit capable d'identifier le titre même de leur livre. Une place pour identifier les personnages, le lieu et l'élément déclencheur, ainsi qu'une option pour ajouter une image dans le modèle. So Trish, I was just saying that creating our template is really important, and we have to think about what it is that our learners are expected to communicate, whether it's visually or written or for speech.
I love that you're saying all those because I love to call that, Carmen, the trinity of student demonstration of learning. Can they use images? Can they use audio? Can they use video to also support print? It's huge. And you're going to show us a few of those today. I love that you've used our text boxes, being able to show how easy that is. You can also use the shape function inside of Google Slides because any shape is also a text box. And of course, we can fill those in just by giving it a double click. Whenever you insert that shape and changing that color. So I love how easy it is to make a template so quickly in here. And that's what you've done now. We're the as seen on TV food channel. Here's what I love. They can pull the pie out of the oven to sort of show people what it is we're going to try to do. I know you've created a bit of that example for us, but you're going to take us through just how you did this on slide number 4. Just you've got the image, you've got some comments here, you've got everything. I think this is great.
Yeah, so the next step that you're going to do is after you've created your template, vous allez partager le modèle à Google Classroom. Et je pense que la plupart des personnes sont capables de faire ceci, mais quand tu crées un document ou un assignment, tu es en train de sélectionner make a copy for each student pour que l'élève a sa propre copie et il est capable de modifier, insérer leurs idées sans avoir les idées des autres personnes dessus. Par la suite, les élèves utilisent le modèle numérique que vous avez créé et ils vont peut-être insérer une image de leur livre qu'ils ont lu. Ils peuvent insérer des images pour l'élément déclencheur. Alors, dans l'histoire du dodo de Mortimer, on sait qu'il y a un grand bruit qui s'échappe et qu'il ne veut pas s'endormir. Et ça, c'est ce qui cause les problèmes à chaque reprise. Alors, ce gabarit peut être utilisé pour juste insérer des idées, soit visuellement ou soit juste en mots. Parce que l'élève va compléter ses idées avec une production orale en utilisant talk et comment pour parler à propos de ces idées et les élaborer. So we're going to elaborate on these ideas that we've put into our graphic organizer with the talk and audio comment. They don't have to be complete ideas. They are just visual representations and speaking notes to help me with my speech.
Love that idea. Like just those prompts, like to be able to help us, because language formation, you're thinking in your home language, not necessarily even your target language yet. And so it's like to take that time to be able to cue you, to have those different little pieces to help you produce that. That's such a great idea.
Éventuellement, étape numéro 6, c'est que vous avez inséré l'audio avec Talk and Comment. Et c'est vraiment facile à ce point ici parce que, comme Trish avait mentionné, il y a un petit micro qui est à gauche. It's that little blue microphone. It brings up this little toolbar where you literally just press the check mark to start speaking and it automatically records your voice. And you just press the check mark to accept it or the X to take it away. Now, once you use talk and audio, I believe this yellow box shows up, Trish, in the middle of your screen. And that's where the students can listen to what they've just said. So if they don't like the way they ordered their words, then they can try it again. Right. And they don't have to worry about saving it in another spot. It's just automatically saved some magical way.
You've got, it's saved in the comments. That's the thing what's so great about it is there's no student accounts. The students don't even actually have to have the extension, although I highly recommend they do, because in your case, it's like the students are the ones using it. There's no data stored anywhere outside of our Google Drive. So it's a very, very safe thing to be able to use. And it even does the step of already copying it to your clipboard. So when we're giving the demo, you'll see just how easy it is to just paste that. Control V, that lovely little shortcut for our students to be able to get that in there. So easy.
And what I really love about this tool too is that it affords us the opportunity to chunk the students' learning. It's hard for students to speak in a second language, sometimes even in their first language, for more than 30 or 40 seconds at a time, and to order their ideas logically. So using this graphic organizer and this extension, they can chunk their ideas so that they're in smaller sections and they can still order them. So in the example that I created with this one, we used the talk and audio comment button there. And once we had spoken, we decided to add it into the comment. So the little comment box is this little speech bubble at the top. And I spoke about each different element on the graphic organizer. And I have 4 different little chunked recordings to create the main idea for that. So the first idea that I have here went along with like introducing the book. The second idea was about the characters. The third little audio comment was about the élément déclencheur and the setting. So I think that's really, really easy to do. Should we do an example?
I was like, can we do it? Can we just show how easy it is? I know you've made a space for us to have some fun on one of your slides, and it's as easy as you can attach a comment to any text box, image, piece of text, word, whatever you want to attach that comment to. But if we jump into another slide that you have without all your examples on it, you'll just see how easy it is to just even insert an image and attach a comment to it or attach it to that text box. It's so slick.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a really easy example then. We're just going to say like the title of the book is Le Dodo de Mortimer.
I love that book, like Rang Clang, Rada Big Bang. I loved that book when I was a kid.
Called Robert Munch. And we're just going to add our idea in there. So I hover over the little microphone. Bonjour, aujourd'hui, je vais vous parler à propos de l'histoire que j'ai écoutée, Le Dodo de Mortimer, écrit par Robert Munch. I accept the audio.
Love it.
I can play it back just to check.
That's so great. And what's lovely is it's already copied to your clipboard. So now when you go hit your comment buttons, you can do the comment button, you can do insert comment. If you're like me and you like shortcuts, Control-Alt-M will make something a comment. And you just Control-V, you just pasting that so that it's there and you can say comment. And it'll show up as eventually a play button just for the students to be able to play, for the teachers to be able to play. It is just absolutely that slick and handy. Can I show you one more trick though? If you ever want to do this and you're really trying to maybe I want to respond back to my students and I want to respond back to their poster or something. What's kind of neat is you can add mention inside of comments, which will direct someone to it. So if you were to insert a comment on even another text box or that one, and you start typing at, and you start typing my name, there I am. You can also Control-V and paste that same voice note, whatever, it would be another one again. But what will happen is I'm actually going to get an email saying, hey, Trish, Carmen has left you a comment. And so you'll have to have access. If you assign this inside of your Google Classroom, of course, kids and you all have equal access. But I just think it's such a neat way to even keep that conversation going between as teachers and students, or students and their other classmates, and you can kind of go back and forth and make it almost conversational too.
I love that idea. And that's the whole point, authentic learning. We want it to be conversational and interaction. How often are we actually standing in front of a group of people and presenting? Not that often.
Right.
Daily. And that's what's the important part for our students to learn, is that interaction.
So easy. Now, here's a couple of tips for you. You've got some more resources for us. Anybody watching today, all of Carmen's slides, plus her examples, plus the extension itself, everything will be below this video today. But you've also taken some time to put together some other examples, because I know you have a method where it's like, let's gradually release this to our students. Maybe we're modeling it as a whole class first, then we can do that gradual release. And then you've got a bunch of different examples for us.
Yeah, so I do just really want to highlight that this is not a one-off activity. You are building towards using talk and audio and graphic organizers. So very important to remember, we model the pratique guidée, pratique collaborative. There's nothing saying that you could not be working in a group and creating an audio poster with that transfer of responsibility, so that you can then have the pratique autonome at the end. Some other examples of ways you could use it. This is from grade 4. Je peux dégager le sens global d'une histoire entendue. So again, just another quick, I inserted a table. with the different elements that you need for communicating what the big idea is behind a story that you've read or listened to. This is for grade 5. Je peux dégager le sens global d'une histoire entendue et je peux décrire les personnages spécifiquement et leur qualité. So after having read a book, you're going to name 3 qualities of the main character and find the proof in the story. And again, this could be used just point form. And then in your speech part of things, you're elaborating on your ideas. Sur le SharePoint de l'immersion française, nous avons un tas de gabarits de schémas organisateurs déjà créés de notre ressource littératie en action. Alors, il faut juste prendre une photo et l'insérer comme une image sur ton Google Slide. So Trish, there's a ton of graphic organizers on our French immersion SharePoint. And all you have to do is just take a photo of it and insert it as a backdrop.
Love that.
Very, very easy. Tons of graphic organizers for informational text and for narrative text. This one here could be used for grade 5 as well. Je peux distinguer le réel et l'imaginaire. So you're listening to a book read in class, or you're reading it yourself, and you're putting down your ideas of what elements are real and what elements are imaginary in this text. So something very simple, just like a T-chart.
I love this. Is like the birthday party loop bag.
Resources that are curated by our friends at Black Gold ICT, and I know Trish, your friend Jared Malte, creates a ton of these. He's awesome. They have the templates ready to go. Sometimes they're in French, sometimes they're in English, but I've noticed there's a ton more in French now. So very easy to just use these templates and then again add the talk and audio comment on top of it. So you don't have to have your complete ideas there. You can have ideas or words that bring the student to elaborate on their ideas in the speech.
That is fantastic. It's like the birthday party loop bag of things that we can take and use right away, Carmen.
Yeah, and then coming up in March, we have La Mois de la Francophonie. So for Mois de Francophonie, we're having a French artist of the week with a song of the week. And so if you want, you could use this digital poster to create like a digital biography of the artist and the things that you like about their song and the things that you've researched about them. So we'll have all those templates up for you shortly and ready for you to use. And this would be an excellent template to use whether you are in elementary, in secondary French language arts, or even if you're doing this in your FSL class.
Absolutely.
So here's an example of what that digital poster would look like. And this time I just used little audio buttons that I inserted on the document. So we can certainly do it that way as well. But lots of different ideas for you to use that talk and comment application for.
Oh, this is amazing. My mind is buzzing. I just want to be able to try it. And I think you make such a good point. Regardless of the graphic organizer or the template or the poster you find, whether that's MTechs, ECSDs, Black Golds, English or French, I think it's the strategy. It's that we all need that oral language practice, but feel free to take copies of anything, translate that into that target language. Absolutely, we're happy to be able to share those resources. And like I said, we'll have everything linked below this video. Carmen, this was exciting. Thank you so much. This is where I get to say merci beaucoup for coming to help us. And getting us excited about that oral language and just supporting our French language studies.
And thanks so much for showing us all these great tools too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next time in our next episode.